We'll see. Not looking too good. Nasdaq looks strong though. Like it's really really weird, man. Like there's
Just do this.
definitely some separation going on here. There's like separation anxiety with the Nasdaqian. Um, so we'll have to wait and see, but we can take a look at it. Absolutely. Right now, in my humble, not so humble opinion, is that we're waiting for tomorrow. That's kind of where I'm at. But we can go into what we're waiting for, right? And that's the unemployment. I'm currently scalp long on Solana. We'll see if we bounce here. We're in a buy level here. I've already taken 200 off the table. We'll see if we bounce and go. Either way, it's cool. Stop loss at entry. Caught the bottom here, and we'll see if we go. But I might get stopped out. We might run. I'm not here in this environment. I'm not here to fight, right? I'm just gonna take my money and fuck off. That's kind of as nice as I can make it, right? So coming into some bounce levels, let's go over and take a look at Bitcoin here, and we'll see if we can continue to dump or continue to push, right? So we're coming into some bounce levels here. 786 golden pocket buy levels for me when looking at this, and it was pretty obvious. We had our sell wall that we had for you guys yesterday. A beautiful little dump, right? So you mitigate the lows, you rotate over, retest and go, right? So I wanted to see a little bit more of a retest this morning. We didn't get it. Okay, we just slapped. I mean, I've never seen so much VWAP slapping in my life. Look, just right. I actually took the long here on the live, and I made $200 as well. But clearly, losing the orb, right? Breaking down here. So the story is this: very choppy news data, okay, coming out, and then rolling over, coming into the area that we were very familiar with yesterday, right? What did I say about this, OC? Right? We're coming here, minimum, right? You get price action moving nice in here, and then what? Why didn't we come back into here and then go here, right? Well, what does that do? That creates imbalance, right? So we look to return. Once this thing gets overextended, we look to return. So you can see you lost momentum here, you broke structure here, and you rolled over back to where we have imbalance, balance in the force, right? So kind of expected, really. We're approaching that bounce level, okay? We're approaching that bounce level on Solana as well. We're approaching a bounce level on Ethereum as well, but we are losing that trend line, OC. Coming back for the liquidity in the lows. So imbalance, return, right? And you get one of these. It looks like we won't say it. We'll behave ourselves. Okay. So what now? What are we looking for? Well, bottoming structure, right? So, here, there, everywhere, we can take trades in between, but right now this is just rolling over nicely. So a little bit of patience if you're looking for a long, or you look to jump on a trend, right? For me right now, like I said yesterday, I knew I was coming up to the sell wall. We knew that. We got the hopium and then the dumpium, right? So always an elevator down, as you can see, right? Like you just roll over, right? You get a little bit of relief and roll over. So you don't fade stuff like this is what I'm trying to say, right? Like your job, if you're getting long in here, is to participate for a retracement. When you're in a downtrend, your retracements in the downtrend are where you take profits early. You're not trying to catch the home run trade. Okay? You're trying to catch a chunk. Otherwise, you should be looking for the short. Okay. And an uptrend, clear uptrend, right? Your shorts, okay, your uptrend, your shorts are the same. You're looking for retracements. Okay. You want to catch the trend. So it's very much that. So in this downtrend, there's no there was really no indication that we had changed structure on a higher term time frame taking this high. So therefore, and this was pretty toppy looking. Okay, you look at market structure and we can use our indicator for that. My trading view is really slow today. I don't know about yours. But you look at this in here, and you can see it says you change structure in here. Let's go 15. Yeah, that's better. So that's the story, right? So you should be looking to short here. Why as well? Okay, so what else indicates that we go short here? Liquidity in this area here, order block as well. Okay. We have a double top in here. Mitigation of the low. So you lose structure in here, right? You lose structure in here. You have momentum that runs at a steam. Okay. So there's your OC breakdown, retest, short. Okay. You have imbalance in price action. Okay. So a clearly defined target, right? I know all you gamers love that. And then, and you have a very, 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 very pathetic bottom. Remember we were saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chances to get long at the bottom. Okay. You think they're going to let retail have 5 swings, you know? Let's say they're playing baseball, right? You're going to give the batter 5 strikes or 3 strikes. Right? You're not going to give them more chances, right? Too many chances. To me it says weak bottom. To me it says I want to see pain. I don't know about you guys. I want to see like everybody. I want to see red thumbnails, open mouth, flames, nuclear bombs. I want to see, yeah. You know, this is weak, guys. I got the one for you guys. I think I have it. Here you go.
Love it.
All right.
And even shakes.
Okay. I bring that up to remind myself to never make an open mouth thumbnail again. I joined Open Mouth Thumbnail Anonymous. I don't make the thumbnail. I'm 3 years no open mouth thumbnails now.
Nice.
See? I'm doing really well. So yeah, pain before pleasure.
Absolutely. And by the way, I mean, let me come on, this thing's stuck on me. Come on, why can't I move this around? Oh, there it is. All right, sorry for that. But that beautiful picture got me to create one of my favorites all-time thumbnails. And I need to say that I really, really enjoyed creating that. And let me give you guys a little bit of a treat here. It's not going to be taking me long. And let me just bring it up. And this is it. Oh, come on. It's not in here. All right. First, before that, let me copy a
Share your screen.
Yeah. Dude, I just saw that. Here's a little bit of a news that I was looking into, right? And this is the picture that the thumbnail that I was talking about, right? So since this video is going into YouTube, we're gonna leave that thumbnail for just the private class, all right? So if you want to see it, come to Discord, check out the conversation in here. But dude, I love that. I love that. I actually went and copied your same post and did everything, man, to match you. Dude, I was such a blast. Such a blast. Oh, loved it.
It's a good thumbnail.
Right. let me share my screen and let's get started with my fuck up. All right, is that a fuck up so far? So far, we'll see how that goes. All right, but is Ethereum, right? I mentioned that I am on a long in Ethereum, and also not. Jesus, man, you never let go. I love you,
I
bud.
wore my
I love
Donald
you.
Trump shirt for you today.
I love it, love it, love it. Wait, let me read that. I love what? I love can't stand.
It
Oh,
says he
dude.
pisses off the people I can't stand.
I love it. And he does, man. He freakingly does.
To the moon.
I love you, brother. Really, really appreciate you. No, for real, for real. You always make me laugh. You're a fantastic trader, man. I couldn't have anything better than a co-partner in Chart Prime and a friend. So
Let's go.
let's go. So I was looking at these, and also let me bring up the news site that I had for you guys, and of course that I need to copy the link once again and paste it here for you guys. So let's paste it and let's do enter. Let me get this out of the way for a second. All right. Yep. And of course, I need to change this right here. Right. And everything so you guys can see what's going on. All right. So right here, let me again paste it. By the way, our news section, it is phenomenal, guys. Go check that out for real. I mean, just so you didn't know before we go into this one, I mean, I like looking at this like yesterday. Look at that. I mean, hackers find new way to hide malware in Ethereum smart contracts. Stop buying smart contracts, all right? At least read that article. And then, like for example, going into there it is. This is what I wanted to show you. Cointelegraph just tweeted, update Ethereum whales hold 1K to 100K Ethereum have accumulated 14% more Ethereum over the past month. Guys, this is full pack of fantastic integration information. All right, so you go check out some charts, check out what's going on right there in the news. We have news for everyone, included FX Trade, one of my favorite news site. So talking about Ethereum, all right, so if Ethereum is being accumulated, why not? Let's go check that out. And I got that, if I can find it, right here. All right, and we were ranging. All right, important, coming back down range, that usually is a flat path of a bearish continuation. Then why the hell am I longing this? All right, and that is because we are above our zero line, and right here we are into the green. All right, and we are ramping up on the strength. It is true that we can still come back lower in here, and that's why I'm going to almost a 1-to-1 ratio entry. Very important right here, and you might be noticing this. And if you're new, don't worry, I'm going to explain this. This was the first right here, a quarter of an entry, and then I have another quarter of an entry right down here at 4,254. In fact, it's just a slightly bit lower, just so you guys know. On my broker, it is somewhere like here, like 4,235.00. And that is because I first want to be alerted, and then I want to execute my next entry. This next entry, all right, it's already set in place, and very important. And here is the thing for the new users, in case you are like wondering why am I doing this like 1 quarter and 1 quarter, right? If I go back and let me quote Alex of Crypto, nothing beats a good trend line. And look at that, right? So he actually made me change my mind yesterday. I was looking at this one, going for a breakout retest, and I was going, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the breakout and then see the result. But right here, I was, you know what? They're being accumulating Ethereum. Ethereum is being slippery, right? It's been flowing between my hands. Let's go and check out if let's go and test the waters to see if I can catch a bounce. All right, I'm not expecting a full all-time high bounce. All right, I'm expecting a dead cat bounce, something like right here, 4,644 bounce. All right. And that is because look at the waves in here of the volume. They're very vanilla, and we see it right here. All right. So what I'm expecting is, all right, everybody's looking for that flat pause, bearish continuation. Maybe we can have a little spring on this range. If you don't know what a spring is, go check out Wyckoff on Binance. All right. So on Binance Academy, they explain it very, very simply. And well, then we could be getting a bounce. So I'm still want to have that exposure at this moment, but I don't trust the markets. I'm testing the water. All right. So what can I change when I test the waters or when I'm not trusting the market? I can change two things: the leverage and the amount of money that I'm gonna be risking to the market, because that way I can control how much money I can lose. All right. Therefore, I'm allowed, when I open up a trade, I'm allowed to use one full entry equals for me a 3% of my wallet. All right. So if I'm allowed to do that, well, I also could be a little bit smart about it, right? So maybe I can allocate just a quarter of a position in here, and then another quarter of a position, and quarter plus quarter is equal 1/2. I'm still just risking 1/2 of a position, and I'm also having a stop loss, all right? Which means, and let's zoom in here, if I enter here at 4,348, and let's use a square for that, in my next entry, it is a little bit lower right there. Well, my average entry could be, if I nail that, could be out of a somewhere in 4,288, giving me a risk reward ratio to 2.2, way better than that 1-to-1. And I can absolutely be getting to areas of support. First, dynamic reactor, and second, the big AF trend line that is right there, and still have that buffering zone. All right. So that way I can start moving with where I believe we might be having a bounce. Not only that, I already mentioned that we are above the zero line, and we're also having a goose hit. This goose hit is not on the zone that I like it to see, but recently those goose hits has been playing out very nicely, so why not to take my chances? But when I say take my chances, I'm trying to do it as responsible as I can. All right, hey guys, you know me. I'm a very sentimental trader. All right. When Alex started saying longer, longer, dude, I started rushing to my charts and watching it, because I, even when I know that he is talking about the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes, or the 3 minutes, and I'm on the 4 hours, the sentiment, it's there, right? I mean, so you guys, I think that we can relate on that if you guys are also very sentimental. But the point is, I mean, you can go and and follow out that FOMO by watching the charts, but be careful with your triggering finger, because that's the one that is gonna get you in trouble. All right. So other than that, this is one of my trades that I currently have open. If you haven't take this, great. You still can jump in at 4,254, and do not enter with half of a position right down there. It's not because I have accumulated 1/2 of a position right down there. You need to do so. I mean, if we're getting there, you can jump in with a quarter of a position, because we most likely are in a flat pause of bearish continuation, which means short the top, all right, and then prepare to get the bottom, not butt up, but taking some profits, all right, because the continuation will be downwards. Still, if we go back to Bitcoin, all right, look at how fast Bitcoin is moving. At this point, Bitcoin is moving faster by size or to a reference point. And what is the reference point? The previous low of 107, all right? Or in this case, for a higher low, which is my red box, at 108. So we're almost there, right there, to create maybe, and just maybe, a higher low. And that is because if we bring up our oscillator to be bigger, all right, look at our money flow. It's true that it's not decisive, but it is green, all right? So I think that we still need one more candle, all right, on our oscillator to see if we're breaking through. If we're breaking through, guys, we're not going to bounce in that zone, all right? We're going to be going through. But so far, despite my volume matrix is pointing downwards, I'm still on the green. And look at, for example, this area where we were pointing downwards. And for that, let me get a vertical and let me show you that I'm not looking at the charts. I'm just looking at my volume matrix, and also let me just get rid of that one. All right. So let's analyze what happened in that point. Despite the volume matrix pointing downwards, because we did had a little bit of that money flow influx, all right, and we were above the zero line. Well, not because we were above the zero line. Being above the zero line is just a reaction of it, but we read it as because of, all right? So the price action keep pushing upwards, all right? So right here, I'm kind of like in that same zone. I'm above the zero line, all right? Barely, right? Right here, this is my zero line. I'm barely above the zero line, but still technically above the zero line. My volume matrix still green. Despite pointing downwards, still green. And well, I have that little bit of hopium of my money flow that I see it, an influx of that money flow. The only thing that I could be looking for, it is that that push on that money flow to have a flip of the ribbon right here. Sorry about that. And then the orange juice went the other way around. And then having a V-shaped recovery right here on my support zone. What is my support zone? This range, previous highs. You see, previous highs, also previous resistance becomes new support. Don't get me wrong. I still think that we might be going lower, right? Especially because we have broken my very old, there we go, trend line in here, all right? This is a huge megaphone. And right now, it's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. And we had that beautiful retest as we were expecting. And not only in this chart, also on this chart. And by the way, we nailed that freaking top. All right. And then if we start doing another little bit of an analysis, let me show you what is the theoretical measurement. I'm going, remember, this percentage changes, all right? Look at how it changes, all right? So 5.48 all the way to 5.49, all right? But the size of the volume required doesn't really change. Like, for example, this is a little bit smaller, but let's measure that. For example, this one in here. And then if we measure from the pivot right here to the bottom, almost the exact same point. And if we measure from the pivot to the bottom, the exact same size. And if we measure from here to there, a little bit smaller. So we can calculate that from the top to the bottom, we're going to be looking at a 106 area. 106 area is not a very heavily loaded zone. So I do have another box in here. So why not? Let's just stretch it just a little bit to hit that area. Therefore, our main target, TP number 1, which would be a higher low, which is our last resort, is going to be coming in 108. And then our lower low next area starts at 106 and it ends at 104. All right. So despite we could be doing this, okay, and then continuation, maybe ranging, well, then we could also be doing that. All right, so based on the very first support, which is this, I'm starting to test the waters, and my subject of exploring, it's going to be F Ethereum, all right? Especially because F Ethereum, right? So we'll see. I hate and love Ethereum. It's that sweet spot, right? When you want to kill it, but also you cannot live without it. And then you also want to kill it again. All right, so that is where I'm stuck with Ethereum. Let's go check out Solana. Solana. We were planning on a short on Solana, and this is one of those trades that I missed on that short. All right, so pretty mad about this. Not gonna lie, and let me wind a little bit about this short because I not only mentioned it on the hackers, I also mentioned it on trading with the OC. We were expecting that freaking short to play it out, and I just didn't not took it. All right, perfect. Whatever. Then what's up next? Next thing, it is gonna be dynamic reactor. All right. And you see right here that I have, this is not an open order. All right. But let's check that out when the price action gets in here. In fact, let's put this one and let's do check that out when the price gets here. All right. So that is going to be it for Solana. I'm still right here on the way down. I'm not going to be chasing after this price. The entry zone is already long gone. And well, since I'm trying to scalp this, I need for the full development to hit here, the support, and see if I'm still above the 0 line. Seems like I'm going to make it. So far, seems like. All right. Why? Because I still have enough of a space between the 0 line and the ribbon to actually make that flip of the ribbon, just like in here, right? My money flow is still on the green, and despite my volume matrix is going lower, still greenish, still greenish. All right. So I believe that I still have a little bit of a chance to make that bounce, and that's why I keep an eye on it. Another one that I'm looking into, it is LVO. LVO, same deal. Let's take a look at reanalyze when we get here and look at that price action. This was an entry not taken. All right, so I need to be clear about that. And well, it seems like that was the topic of yesterday's trading, not taking the trades, right? And then coming back down to my next area of support at 114. Same deal. The only thing that is, oh, come on, not this one. But the only difference in here is that my volume, my money flow, it was pointing up and now it's curling back down. And I hate that. But still, my volume metrics is looking way better than Bitcoin's and way better than Solana's. Right? So I think we might still have an equilibrium point in there. So that's what I got on the main altcoins. And let me ask you something today. A point of debate, Alex. You talked about
not a
Rectember. What? Not what?
A master debate.
So, I was on the debate team. Were you? On high
You
school,
were where?
Long time ago. What was it?
You were what?
On the debate team on my high school.
Yeah, I was a master debater too.
Really? I was not a master, but I loved it, and I was on the debate team. I loved it. Really liked it. All right.
A master debate.
Dude, I just you really got me there, man. My wife's just looking at me like, what are you laughing at? I need to show her the record. Dude. Such a troll, man. Such a troll. He said I need to explain her. He said he was a master. How you call it? Master debater?
Debater, yeah.
Yeah, debater. So, master debater. Yeah. Dude. All right, so talking about Rectember. All right. That's a classic thing.
Yeah.
We are actually been in a downtrend since we started September. In fact, last of the month, we started downtrend. September, that we are right now at 4th of September. We are in strong downtrend. All right, still in a strong downtrend. But job numbers. Everything is pointing at that we might have bad job numbers, and that would lead into a rate cut. We know rate cuts are good for markets, especially risk markets. They love to see people bleeding on the job numbers, and they pump those numbers, especially when we talk about altcoins, right? Question. Are they going to cancel each other out? Are we going to be seeing a range? Is Rectember be playing out as Rectember? Or are we going to completely skip Rectember and go into a Pumptober?
I think we take the low. Whenever we take the low, that will be the low for September. And then we go.
Perfect. What are your lows targets, if you may me ask you?
105.
105. Really? All right. Mine ads are like almost at the same ballpark.
Yeah, you're like 90K, aren't you?
Yes, but then my actual low is 94 or 93. Yep.
If we're gonna die, then yeah, my low is 93.6.
I see.
If we die.
But like, what do you
but
mean?
We still got 103. So 103 900 is kind of my level.
Right. Got it. I see. All right. But what do you mean if we die? Like if we completely wreck it, or if we're turning into the bear market?
Depends on how much wreckage they want to give us, right?
Right.
For me, I want to see this low taken right here, which means I expect a wick down into here
I see. Perfect.
because I want to see nasty, bro. Like I want to see, you know. So like if we come down in here, I expect it to, and then just boom, and then okay. So that would be the plan. Everybody would be here saying, "Oh, we took this low here," and then they would go boom, and then we go boom. Otherwise, I'm still in the camp that we could still see one of those daily candles below 98,000 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so bounce level here, and then the doom is right here. It's this low in here. That's the doom. But I really don't want to see a weekly candle close below here.
No, me either. That would mean bounce back up that
That'd be
cat
concerning.
bounce, and
I think that would just make it for the worst. What is the worst? Is this? This is the worst right here. Right? And then we go. Just if we drop down, right? If we drop down into here and we just go sideways, everybody would cry.
yeah.
I think if we drop down in here, we could go sideways. Remember this? This was like 7 months of sideways, bro.
Yeah, dude, it
So,
was crazy.
I would like to see this right here. Boom. And then recovery. But crypto's not as volatile as it used to be, so we'll see, man.
And it's very funny that you
We have
bring up that
big
range.
whales right now selling.
Yeah.
Once they stop, right? It's rotation. Who's buying Bitcoin now? It's institutions and shit, right? They're not selling. They're buying for 10 years, right? So
Yeah.
a different level of hodl is going on now.
Yeah, exactly. We're going hybrid between a stock and crypto. And I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perfect. So guys, I think that is what we got for today. Alex, do you have anything else that you want to share, or are you ready to pack up and move into the next class?
Popcorn, guys. Tomorrow, popcorn. Get the popcorn out. And then guess what? You go into the weekend. So you're going to have volatility and then scam central. Okay? So tomorrow, prepare for this. And then boom. Okay? It's going to be a fun one. But prepare. Patience.
Absolutely. Gary's asking me for levels for possible bounce. Let me snip my chart. Gary, be very careful though on Solana, right? I'm just taking a screenshot just for you, my friend. Let me paste it here. And I'm looking at, well, my possible next entry is somewhere around 200. All right. So somewhere around that ballpark. All right. So 199.57. And my alert, it's a little higher at 201.55. But that's for you to check out, my friend. My pleasure. But be careful. All right. And if you allowed me to suggest, not financial advice, start entry with partial, do a partial entry. Don't go like full entry here. Because remember, we're testing the waters. So at this point, we're starting with Ethereum. And then we're giving a little bit of Ethereum some space to see how that reacts. And if Ethereum reacts correctly, we're going to do another analysis on Solana when the price is there and then decide if we want to jump in. All right. So I just want to clarify that. Alex, as always, a huge pleasure to be around you, my friend.
What do you think about that sell yesterday?
That was pretty good, man. That was a pretty good one, to be honest.
Oh, man.
Alex, as always, a great pleasure to have you around, my friend. Really appreciate you. Guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. See ya.